So Bob, did you have a good time last night?
Yeah, it was a pretty nice restaurant. The food was decent, I guess.
You guess? You're such a tough critic.
I just have high standards when it comes to food. It's not like I'm a food critic or anything.
Alright, everyone, we're about to go live. Can we please keep it down?
Good morning, viewers. This is Charlie, and we're here with another episode of Earth. Today, we're going to be discussing the latest developments in space exploration, as well as some interesting news stories from around the galaxy. But before we get into that, let's check in with our panel members. How's everyone doing today?
Doing well, Charlie. Just a bit tired from staying up late last night.
Sam here, Alice. I didn't get much sleep either.
That's a shame.
Bob, can I give you some advice for your next date?
Sure, what's up?
Maybe try not to talk about accounting so much. It's not the most exciting topic for a first date.
You're probably right. I'll make sure to brush my teeth too, just for you.
Alright, guys, we're live. Let's get started.
And now for our headlines.
Good evening, and welcome to 24/7 Newsroom, the show where the news never sleeps, and neither do we.
That's right, Bob. I'm Charlie, and joining us tonight is our lovely co-host, Alice.
Thank you, Charlie. I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. We've got a lot of news to cover, so let's get right into it.
Absolutely. Our first story tonight comes from the Czech Republic, where Minister of Labor and Social Affairs Marian Jurečka has proposed some major changes to the country's pension system.
And you know what they say, Bob. When a politician proposes changes to a pension system, you'd better hold onto your wallet.
That's a good one, Charlie. But in all seriousness, Jurečka's plan would see pension fully adjusted for inflation and a third of real wage growth, with an additional one-time payment in the event of inflation exceeding 5%.
Sounds like Jurečka is trying to be fiscally responsible, but I bet the retirees aren't too thrilled about it.
Well, Bob, as they say in Czech, bez práce nech se kolaj, which means without work, there are no cakes. Or in other words, you gotta earn your pension.
That's some good Czech trivia, Charlie. Speaking of cake, did you know that the Czech Republic is famous for its delicious pastry? Like turtleneck and kolas?
Now I'm hungry and I need to work harder to afford my retirement. Thanks a lot, Alice. Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. We hope you've had a chance to catch your breath after that last segment. Now, let's move on to our next news article. Charlie, what do you have for us?
Well, Bob, this next story is just as disturbing as the last one. According to a recent report from the Ukrainian lawmaker Dmytro Lubinets, 86% of Ukrainian soldiers who come back from Russian captivity have been subjected to direct physical torture. It's absolutely sickening.
This is truly heartbreaking. And it's not just about the torture. There have also been public executions of Ukrainian military personnel by Russian soldiers. I can't even imagine the fear and trauma these soldiers must be experiencing.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation. But on a lighter note, did you guys know that Ukraine is actually the largest country entirely in Europe? And it's also the birthplace of actress Mila Kunis.
That's a great bit of trivia, Bob, but I don't think it's appropriate to lighten the mood too much when we're talking about such a serious issue.
Agreed. It's important to keep the victims and their families in our thoughts and to be pressure on those responsible for these atrocities.
Absolutely. The international community needs to take a stronger stance against these kinds of human rights violations.
Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom, where we bring you the latest news and views from around the world. In this segment, we'll take a closer look at a country that's been making headlines lately, and discuss our third news article of the day.
And that country is none other than Indonesia. Known for its beautiful beaches, vibrant culture, and delicious food.
And of course, the country is also home to some of the most active and engaged voters in the world, who are gearing up for the next presidential election in 2024.
That's right, Alice. And speaking of politics, our third news article of the day comes from Compa, and it's about the possibility of a PDIP-Gerindra alliance in the upcoming election.
Oh, I love a good political drama. What's the scoop, Bob?
Well, according to the article, the Secretary General of PDIP, Hesto Cristianto, has spoken out about the possibility of a collaboration with Gerindra's Prabowo Subianto. But he also emphasized that the party's decision will not be solely based on electability.
Whoa, sounds like they're really thinking about the bigger picture. I like it.
Yeah, but let's be real. Politics is all about power, and I bet there's a lot of horse trading going on behind the scenes.
Well, one thing's for sure, whoever the parties decide to back, they better be on the same page when it comes to key issues like food sovereignty.
Absolutely, Bob. And speaking of food, did you guys know that Indonesia is the world's largest producer of palm oil?
And that's not all. The country is also home to some of the most unique and delicious cuisines in the world, like rendang and nasi goreng.
You know, I once had a dish called gado gado that blew my mind. It's a salad made with boiled vegetables, tofu, and peanut sauce. So good.
Sounds like my kind of dish. And that's all the time we have for the segment. After the break, we'll be back with more news and banter. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to 247 Newsroom, where we bring you the news with a side of humor. Now, Bob, Charlie, and Alice, we have a doozy of an article to discuss next. This one comes from Liechtenstein, and it's about a Hallenbad Trizen that just can't seem to catch a break.
Well, it looks like the pool party's over for now in Trizen. That material defect just keeps swimming back into the picture.
You could say the problem is swimmingly bad.
Guys, we're treading water here with these weapons. But in all seriousness, it's unfortunate for the people of Trizen that they can't enjoy the pool right now. Hopefully, they can get the issue fixed soon.
Speaking of swimming, did you know that Liechtenstein is one of only 2 doubly landlocked countries in the world?
Doubly landlocked? Is that like being double parked?
No, Charlie, it means that Liechtenstein is completely surrounded by landlocked countries. It's a trivia fact for you there.
And with that, we wrap up our discussion on the Hallenbad Trizen situation. We'll be right back after the break with more news and laughs.
And that's all for today's show, folks. Thanks for tuning into 247 Newsroom, the only news show that combines information with humor. Don't forget to join us again next week for another episode of the best news show out there.
Before we go, let's take a quick look at some country trivia. Did you know that Niger is home to one of the largest protected areas in Africa? The W National Park covers over 10 square kilometers and is a sanctuary for endangered animals such as lions, elephants, and hyenas.
Whoa, Bob, I had no idea. Speaking of Niger, did you guys hear about the Niamey Au Fil de l'eau event that took place last Sunday? It was a great way to celebrate the Niger River and promote sport and culture in the country.
Absolutely, Alice. The event, which was organized by the Agency for the Modernization of Niger Cities in collaboration with the Niger Triathlon Federation, was a great success, with dozens of participants taking part in various aquatic competitions.
And let's not forget the important role that events like this play in promoting the development of urban areas and fostering a sense of community among the population.
Well said, Bob. And with that, it's time to say goodbye. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on 24/7 Newsroom.
Today we're talking about Mongolian students studying in Europe.
That's right, Charlie. The Mongolian government is partnering with the Czech Republic to send 60 students to study in various fields such as technology, biotech, and cybersecurity.
And what's interesting is that the program is called the President's Initiative 2100. I mean, who knew the Mongolian president was such a forward thinker?
Maybe he's trying to prepare for the apocalypse or something. But seriously, it's great to see countries working together to promote education and innovation.
Absolutely, Charlie. And let's not forget the importance of cultural exchange. These students will not only learn about their fields of study but also experience different cultures and make lifelong connections.
Speaking of cultural exchange, did you guys know that in Mongolia, it's considered polite to offer someone a snuff bottle instead of a handshake?
Wow, I had no idea. I think I'll stick to handshakes though, Alice.
And let's not forget about the delicious Mongolian cuisine. Have you ever tried buaz, the traditional steamed dumplings?
Oh, I love bu. And let's not forget about erag, the fermented Mars milk. It's an acquired taste, but definitely worth trying.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning into 24/7 Newsroom. Join us next time for more informative and humorous news.
And who knows, maybe we'll even try some erag on the show.
Speak for yourself, Charlie.
Hey Roger, did you catch the latest episode of 24/7 Newsroom tonight? I thought it was quite interesting.
Yes, I did. Which segment are you referring to specifically?
Episode 116, the one where they covered the climate change protests.
Ah, yes. That was a pretty intense segment. What did you think of it?
Well, I thought it was important that they covered it, especially since the protests have been gaining a lot of momentum lately. But I also felt like they didn't go deep enough into the underlying issues.
I see what you mean. It was a bit superficial in some respects, but I also think that they did a good job highlighting the urgency of the situation.
That's true. I just wish they had gone more in depth on some of the solutions that are being proposed. I mean, it's great that people are raising awareness, but we also need concrete steps to address the problem.
Absolutely, I think that's where the conversation needs to go now. We need to start talking about what we can do to actually make a difference.
So, one of the things I thought was missing from the piece was a discussion about solutions. We can't just keep talking about the problem. We need to start talking about solutions. Did you have any thoughts on that?
Absolutely, I agree completely. One solution that comes to mind is creating more green spaces in cities. Studies have shown that green spaces help to mitigate the effects of climate change, and they also provide a space for people to gather and protest in a peaceful manner.
Yes, that's a great point. I also think that the piece could have talked more about the importance of collective action. People often feel like their individual actions won't make a difference. But when we come together as a group, we can have a real impact.
That's true, and I think the piece missed an opportunity to highlight some of the organizations that are doing great work in this area. There are a lot of grassroots groups that are fighting for climate justice and working to make sure that everyone's voices are heard.
Exactly, and I think that it's important to recognize that this is a complex issue that requires a multifaceted approach. It's not just about reducing our carbon footprint, although that's certainly important. It's also about social justice, economic justice, and political
Yes,
action.
and I think that's where the media has a really important role to play. We need to be telling this story and highlighting the work that's being done. We need to be amplifying the voices of those who are fighting for a better world.
I couldn't agree more. And I think that's something that we can all do as individuals as well. We can share these stories on social media, we can attend protests and rallies, and we can support the organizations that are doing the work.
Absolutely. It's time for all of us to step up and take action. We owe it to ourselves, to future generations, and to the planet.